morning, I was saying that this was a celebration of life. This stage is open to anybody who has ukuleles or want to play or take over the ukuleles for that matter. It's something to be shared. This is like a Hawaiian home party.
Ladies, check your ears.
Ears?
Somebody's wearing one earring.
Oh, well. Okay, we got lost and found already.
Come and get it.
Anyway, hoka, watch your slippers too. Hawaiian style party. Anyway, you guys are welcome to please share. If you guys came and you guys have to run, the mics are going to be open for any kind of remembrances or funny stories. Keep it light. We're celebrating a happy life. Yeah. And during the 11 o'clock, this gathering was supposed to run from 9 to 11. Just get together, see each other, eat donuts, talk story. We play some kanikapila, and then those that wanted to offer, you know, their own stories would be welcome to take the mics from 9 to 11. From 11 to noon, we were shooting for a formal segment. Hopefully that the invocation will be given by Reverend Ron Fujiyoshi, who was with Uncle Sam in his Ohana Ho'opakele cause for the Pa'ahau.
In my uncle, Ikamea Ono.
Oh, all the foods are up at
some notch morning.
Donuts and all up at the kitchen area. Help yourself. Apple out here, wherever it is. They got them. Okay, right on. Anyway, my guy, like I said, hopefully that during the 1 hour program we will have, I'm giving out these little handouts that have songs. And we're hoping that everybody will sing along with us. I'd like to intersperse the songs with, again, my interpretation. I've been, sorry. Oh, no, we won't until somebody takes over the stage. Hey, and 11 o'clock is a formal one. In fact, Larry, you're part of the formal, you're part of the church group now. Yeah, I laugh. You guys gotta laugh. Is that the couple? I'm trying to be friendly with everybody. Come on, stick up. And so we're just trying to have everybody enjoy and have a good time. So I try to let you know what the program is. During the program, we'll have some of our family members and some of our dignitaries will be able to take the floor. So stick around, talk story, enjoy happy stories about Uncle while we just play. And again, if you guys play. Come spell us, and some of us got to go bathroom too, so mahalo. Nobody would pay us for it. Uncle, you don't understand. Hey, what? If we're lucky, we get them. Okay. Oh, what you got, son? Ken and Alan.
What do I have to do?
Come on up. Come up right here on the bed.
Aloha. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good, okay. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, aloha. My name is Ken Zitz. I'm a retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel. I was Sam's platoon commander in Vietnam. Somebody saw that picture there. I was a young 24-year-old lieutenant. Sam was a young 29-year-old sergeant, and that's when we first met. And Sam was very special. Meeting him and serving in combat with Sam, because Marines are very close, but when you serve together in combat, you really get real close and really have a lot of appreciation. I've known Sam over the years. I live on Oahu in the North Shore of Mokuleia, last 25 years. And every time Sam came to Oahu, or I met him here a couple times, we lived in Pahoa, we'd get together and tell sea stories. And then one day Sam gave me this hat, and my call sign was Alpha 3. But Sam couldn't say 3, he always says tree. He said Alpha Tree, he said you gotta have this. So, and his call sign was Alpha 3 too. But anyhow, I have a couple of quick messages. These guys love Sam, and they asked me if I would please share this with the Ohana here in Hawaii. And excuse me, I put my glasses on. This comes from Major John Turpek. He said, I was really sorry to hear about Sam's passing. He was one of the good guys, one of the ones you never forget. I was looking forward to seeing him at the Tankers reunion this year. They're supposed to have a reunion here. Regards, Major John Turpek, U.S. Marines, retired. The next one comes from a colonel Ed Sircone, he said, it's very heavy heart indeed that I received news of brother tanker and special friend, Sergeant Major Sam, has left and gone to the heavenly reward to be with God. It was more than a half a century. It was my honor and my good fortune to have Sam in my life. As his commanding officer in Okinawa, and later I knew him in his days in the Corps. Sam was a go-to person, never stopped proceeding wherever he was posted. And he goes on to say, Sam never stopped serving as most personal, fearless reminder of the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. And he says, Sam, I will always remember you. You are a true blessing in my life. Ed Sircone, Colonel, United States Marine Corps Reserve, retired. And then Sam's gunner, Ken Zeeble, was a Lance Corporal, and he was my gunner, and then when I left Vietnam, Sam snatched him up. He couldn't take him from me because Zeeb was a good gunner. And Zeeb got out of the Marine Corps, went to college, came back in infantry, and retired as a Major United States Marine Corps. And Zeeb sent this to the family. I'll just pull out a few of the nice points he said. He said, Sam was our heavy section leader. That means he had three tanks. He was bright, knowledgeable, and unique for a sergeant at a time. He was also good humor. The crew of Alpha 3-2, that's the civilian pictures you see here, Sam, his crew, Milo Plank, Tony Panetti, and Zeeble got to know him very well, and Sam was well respected and liked. You'll like this one. He said, one day, years later, when Sam was a sergeant major at Camp Pendleton, that's the highest enlisted rank you can have, E9. Sam was sergeant major, 1st Battalion, 1st Marines in Camp Pendleton. He said one day, one of the first sergeants of the companies came walking out all by himself, wearing all his gear, and Major Zeeble then said, what are you up to, First Sergeant? And the First Sergeant didn't want to talk to him. And then he come to find out that Sergeant Major Sam had chased his First Sergeant out of his office with Hawaiian War Club. So Sam had a unique way of getting somebody's attention. But I'd like to just share a couple of quick stories with you, funny and things about Sam, because we're here to celebrate Sam's life. Sam always told me when I came, I managed the Army training lands at Wakaloa for 6 years. I'd meet Sam for breakfast, and Sam would say, Alpha Tree, slow down, slow down. He said, this is the big island, this is not Oahu. So I always had to slow down when I came here. He said, talk slowly. He said, you're not on Oahu with all those many people. But anyhow, Sam was a great guy. A couple of good stories. Okay, one morning, I had Staff Sergeant Clark, Sergeant McQuarrie, and Sam was a buck sergeant. Anyhow, these three guys went on liberty, we say, in Okinawa before we went to Vietnam. So I come in the morning to work on Monday morning. I was platoon commander, and our 25 guys were there in the tank park, and I looked at these three sergeants, and they looked like they just came out of the ring with, you know, Rocky Marciano. Their eyes were kind of puffed up. They had been in a fight. So I said, what happened? Well, they were down in a town called Ishikawa, and Sergeant Clark was kind of a tough guy, and a bunch of Marines were in there making a lot of noise, and Sergeant Clark did not have the aloha spirit, and he wasn't very diplomatic, and he said, knock it off, you maggots. Well, that was the wrong thing to say to about 12 guys, who were all infantry guys, and they jumped on our three sergeants. And our three sergeants came out on the lower end of the thing. So I told those guys, I said, stay out of the restaurants. You don't get good service or you just get beat up. But yeah, Sam was a great guy. He was, to show you, just like when you fly an airplane, he was my wingman. He always covered me. I was the lead tank, Alpha 3-1, and he would cover me and the other tanks behind us. But Sam always looked out for me, say, my Okoli or my 6, so nobody get there. Anyhow, we were getting ready to go to Vietnam. We knew we were going someday soon. And I was down in Okinawa. I was a young bachelor. You saw my picture there, lean and mean, full head of hair. And I was dating an American school teacher. So I went down to see her at Kadena Air Base, and on the radio, they kept saying, all Marines report back to your units. And I said, it's just another drill. I told this girl, Connie. I'm staying at the club and dancing and having a good time. They kept saying, all Marines report back to your unit. I said, they always do that, recall you, go back, and nothing happens. And then finally the guy said about 11 o'clock, all Marines, this is not a drill. This is an actual emergency. Report back to your unit immediately. So I told this girl, kissed her goodbye. Jumped on my motorcycle, roared north, and the whole 3rd Marine Division is coming south. I get up to the tank park, Sergeant Clark had all my gear laid out. He says, "Lieutenant, where were you, sir?" I said, "I was on a date." He said, "We're waiting for you, sir." So all the tanks were at the tank park running. And Sam was, like I said, number 2 tank behind me. So as the Marines in my tank saw the lieutenants about 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning now, come running up towards the tank, they all start cheering. And Sam was on his tank, he gave it a big shock, and he says, "Hey, way to go, Alpha Tree." I made him back. And then Sam told me, he said, "We're going to leave without you." He said, "But I told Sergeant Clark, don't do it." He said he was just kidding. But Sam and I landed in Vietnam together at the same time. They put us in these small boats, called Mike boats. And the Navy, God bless them, they dropped us from about here to that parking lot in the ocean. And we thought it was pretty shallow. But we dropped in about 12 foot of water. And we had to paddle ashore. Tanks made it ashore, but we're taking on a lot of water. So that was a real wet landing we got. I blamed Sam on it. I said, "Sam, it's all your fault. You're from Hawaii. You should know those waves better than I do." But we had a lot of fun. Sam was a great guy, good sense of humor always. He saved me one afternoon. We were riding along, like I said, and all of a sudden, I felt hot oil and all over me. I didn't know. I heard a big explosion. I didn't know what it was. Had my helmet on. An RPG-2. Luckily, it wasn't 7. It was a rocket. Enemy fired a rocket. It hit my tank from the back, and the oil splashed all over me. The oil probably was 100 degrees. It was so hot there. And all of a sudden, I heard Sam. He said, "Alpha Tree, it's all good." He took care of whatever happened. Whoever was in that bush, they weren't there anymore. So Sam's a great guy, and we had a lot of fun together. And over the years, I enjoyed talking to him and meeting with him. And I never thought that I would wind up living in Hawaii. The Lord works in mysterious ways. I spent 26 years in the Marines. Went to work for Jack Nicklaus in Japan, golf course design. And I was in Oahu looking for golf work. And Camp Mokulei, as some of you know, was looking for church director, camp director. So must have multiple years of camping experience. So I applied. I had 26 years in the Marine Corps. And they hired me, you know, and Dr. Michael Chun was on the board then, and a lot of people you know on Oahu. And so I ran that camp. They ran me for 7 years. And wound up staying here. Now my whole family's here. My son flies for Aloha Cargo. My other son's a guard captain, a C-17 firefighter. My daughter lives here. So I have 8 grandkids. We all live on Oahu. So it's really been great. And one last story about Sam. Always looking after me. I don't know why. I guess he thought as a lieutenant he had to watch me. But he said, "My wife and I are going to the volcanoes." Sam was coming back from a trip, and his friend was with him. I forget his name. Was helping him with the wheelchair. I'm at the baggage, and Sam's coming right down. He said, "Alpha Tree, you going to be okay? Everything okay?" I said, "Sam, I'm good. I've been here before." But Sam was that kind of guy. He wanted to make sure that my wife and I were going to get to Hilo volcanoes. And that's the last time I probably saw Sam. We talked a lot on the phone, back and forth. But I just want to share, from my heart, what a great guy Sam was. He was a true brother, a true friend, and I enjoyed and was most blessed and honored to have him serve with me in combat and later on to be my friend. So Sam, God bless you, aloha, and semper fi. Thank you.
As I said that we had planned for the program to be from 9 to 11 gathering for this, and hopefully we're starting a formal program at 11, but because this thing is kind of an organic type of gathering, the mics were open to be open all day and all night as long as we're here. For anybody who wanted to say any kind of tributes or remembrances for Uncle. Again, hopefully we hope to be playing, we hope to be doing the formal ceremony at 11. And we have here, hello, come, introduce yourself, if you mind, please.
Thank you. My name is Alan Decoit. I'm a cowboy from the island of Maui, born and raised. But Sergeant Major Sam Kaleleiki was my Sergeant Major. 1st Battalion, 1st Marines, 1st Marine Division. As a young man growing up with a hard Portuguese family, my dad was kind of a rough guy. Went to college, couldn't fit, came home, couldn't fit. So I volunteered for the Marine Corps. Volunteered for reconnaissance. Went through BUDS training, San Diego, got my scuba. Went to West Germany, jumped with the West German Fallschirmjäger, got my jump wings, came back, jumped with the Marines, everywhere. But the Sergeant Major is such a profound influence on me that I still go to the schools, I talk to the kids, I talk to anybody who would listen as a role model in my community. But one thing the Sergeant Major is really proud of, I wear a medal here called Super Squad. This little medal, I took off last night off of my uniform, been on it for 35 years. I took it off, I put it on this lanyard this morning, because the Sergeant Major was so proud of Super Squad. Super Squad in Marine Corps is when they take a bunch of Marine riflemen, we go through competitions, Okinawa, Camp Lejeune, Camp Pendleton, and the top squads get to go to Quantico, Virginia. Out of those squads, me and my squad placed #1 in the Marine Corps, 1977. And the Sergeant Major was so proud of this. A local boy from Maui on a cattle ranch, 1,000 acres, no neighbors, nothing. I was quiet, I still am. But when leadership needs to be taken, we know how to lead. And Sergeant Major Sam Kaleleiki instilled that in me. He was a leader. We kept our friendship strong since 1977. I was with him in November at Ukumehame, and I'm saddened by his loss. But we honor him today in spirit. He was a great one. Men like me, who now carry the torch, and like the Colonel, we are here to lead. We will continue to lead. But the Sergeant Major will never leave us. He'll always be on my flank, like the Colonel said. And he will be missed. And I have a couple of stories. And now as I see the pictures of the tanks, now I know why the Sergeant Major did a few things with me and my men with tanks. One of the first times I encountered a Marine Corps M60 tank, I hang on the tank infantry rail around the turret. It took me and my team. And these things can fly. And you better hang on, or you're going to get bucked off like every now and then. My horses, they like to, you know, throw us cowboys every now and then. But we were dug in a defensive position in Camp Pendleton. Post-Vietnam was kind of a rough time for men like me. We changed weapons, we changed boots, we changed uniforms. We had to learn the manual of arms from an M14 to an M16. The whole thing changed. And we led. We were good guys. So we dug in a defensive position in Camp Pendleton. I think it was outside Camp Horno. And at 01 in the morning, I hear something. And I got my men down in the foxholes. And I used to run communication wire through the eyelets of their boots, because I know they're going to fall asleep. And when I started pulling on the wire, right down the line, everybody awake. And I hear this noise. I hear one screaming, turbo diesel engine. Then I hear the second one. Pitch black. And I hear these things going from left to right. And right away I recognize they're Marine Corps M60 tanks. And I'm saying, what are they doing around here? I'm dug in with my men. And I hope these tanker guys know that there's infantry on the ground. Well, my heart is beating, and I hear the armor moving in front of me, and all of a sudden, the lead tank turns hard right, and I can still hear the squeal of the tracks. And this guy is coming straight for my frontline defenses position. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? All of a sudden, this tank is like from here to La Halle away from me, screaming. He throttles black, boom, 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 and I hear the hatch open up. Somebody within the tank barks out, "Is there a Sergeant Dakota here?" And I raise my hand in the dark. "Yeah, you bleeping bleep, it's me. What are you doing around here?" Well, Sergeant Major Sam Kaleleiki sent me to see about you and your men on the front line. But he was like that, and he taught us many good lessons. They tested us as well as we tested them. Another time involving armor was 29 Palms, California, the Bullion Mountain Range. And me and my recon element went out to the FIBA, a couple clicks out. The Army was across the way. So back on our position, Sergeant Major Sam Kaleleiki, Colonel Dabney, they called me up to the CP. Hey, Sergeant D, you see that tank way over there? And I see this Army tank parked on the skyline, and the Colonel goes along with the Sergeant Major. We want that tank, Sergeant D. Can you get us that tank? No problem. So when it got dark, around 02 in the morning, the best time is between 3:30. Everybody sleeps. I work my way across the desert floor, me and Williams, my radio man, and when we get to the tank, these guys are in their sleeping bags underneath the track sleeping. On the tank, there was a whip antenna with a pennant, a big green one, kind of triangle shape with a picture hand-painted of Abraham Lincoln. So I climb up the tank, William standing guard below me, the guys are sleeping under the tracks, and I take off the pennant, but then I decided, well, I think I better do something special. So I get off the tank, pick up a piece of limestone, and across the turret, I write, D-E-C-O-I-T-E. Amy and Williams took off. As the sun was coming up, report back to the command post, Sergeant Major Sam Kaleleiki, Colonel Dabney. I present the Colonel with the pennant off of this tank. And he said, well, Sergeant, where's the tank? I said, well, Colonel, look out there. As he focuses in with his binoculars, there's my name across the turret. But little did I know, these guys were tankers. Sergeant Major shared with me, after we were discharged on Maui, he was a tanker, he loves talking about armor, and me being infantry reconnaissance, I need my supporting arms. Air, artillery, naval gunfire, mortars, tanks. And a tank without infantry is sort of a dead tank. The Russians found out in Afghanistan with the Mujahideen, when they all button up, if you don't got support, the tanks can be in a lot of trouble. So anyway, I wanted to share some of these stories with all of you. I haven't been to the Big Island. I hardly come up here, but it's so nice to be in this wonderful setting and to meet the family. And we keep Sergeant Major in our thoughts. He will always be with me. He will never leave me. And I will instill in this to other people and young people that I meet. So thank you so much.
Hello. I'm not going to tell war stories, I'm going to tell peace stories. I have only known Uncle Sam for probably 10 years since I've been here. My daughter-in-law is from here, my grandchildren were born and are being raised here. The first time I met Uncle Sam, we were at a gathering for some peace demonstration event, and after he had spoken, they had leis to give out. And Jim Albertini gave me the leis and said, take these up and give Uncle Sam the leis. So I walk up, I'm a stupid Howley, I didn't know nothing when I came here. So I come up and I put the lei around his neck and I turn around and start to leave, and he goes, wait a minute, you didn't do that right. So he made me come back. He says, no, you gotta kiss him. I was like, okay. That was my embarrassing learning experience from Uncle Sam. And I just think that the thing that moved me the most was being with people who shared the same values, who cared about the Hawaiian Kingdom and the state of the people, who cared about peace and not being at war after all of his time in the Marine Corps. I would just like to read a prayer for the departed, for Uncle Sam. O my God, O thou forgiver of sins, bestower of gifts, dispeller of afflictions. Verily, I beseech thee to forgive the sins of such as have abandoned the physical garment and have ascended to the spiritual world. O my Lord, purify them from trespass, dispel their sorrows, and change their darkness to light. Cause them to enter the garden of happiness. Cleanse them with the most pure water, and grant them to behold thy splendor on the loftiest mountain. Thank you.
Aloha. Aloha kakayaka kuse. My name is Joe Keliihoomalu, and I live in Seattle, Washington. I met Uncle Sam in 2010 when a group of Hawaiians came to Seattle, which I sponsored for 17 days. I spent 17 days with Uncle Sam and this group, showing them the different Native American Indian tribes and how they took care of their people. Uncle got to meet council members, chiefs, Tulalip tribe, Makassu tribe, Nisqually tribe, Suquamish tribe, chiefs from all these tribes that allowed us to go behind the doors to see their council, how they were elected, see how they took care of their elders, their children, their schools. And Uncle Sam saw this and he loved it. He said, that's what I want for our Hawaiian people. I said, yeah, Uncle Sam, we can. From that day, Uncle Sam did not deviate from what he saw. He loved what he saw and he presented that. Every time I came back to Hawaii, we would go do talks and he would share that. This is Brother Joe from Seattle, and I loved Uncle Sam. The funny thing about Uncle Sam is when I first met him and met the group at the airport, everybody was waiting. I had the bus ready. It was 15 to 20 people from Hawaii that came here that helped sponsor. And I saw this one man walk off. I call him Hawaiian Moses. But he had the long beard and the white hair. But I got off the airport, we was in the airport sitting there waiting. I came in and introduced myself as Joe Keliihoomalu, and I will be with you. And I saw Uncle Sam, as big as he was. He had a short sleeve shirt with his shorts. We walked from the airport to the bus, maybe 50 yards. It was 20 degrees outside. It took us a 30-minute ride from the airport to the tribe. And I told Uncle Sam, it's 20 degrees outside. This is how I come, this is how I will look. We got to the hotel at about 20. The next morning, I met him at 5 o'clock in the morning. We had coffee and everything. He goes, Rana, can you go get me pants from Big 5? I went to Big 5 to try to find pants. Guess what? No more his size. So I came back and said, Uncle Sam, they no more your size. He said, ah. So we went up, got all the blankets from the room, and as we toured Washington with Uncle Sam, he wrapped the blanket around his legs to keep warm. But the one thing Uncle Sam was proud of, all the tribes in Washington presented him and the group with handmade blankets. And he was very, very proud of that. So from the tribes of Washington, how they would say, Hoyt. That means I will see you later. And they said their aloha to Uncle Sam. Aloha.
Anohai ke aloha. My name is Moani Keala Akaka. A handful of us started the Hawaiian Movement for Justice in Kalama Valley 45 years ago. Sam was a Hawaiian warrior. Not only in his service to the military, but in his service to our Aina and our people. I can remember many, many meetings I would call, and Sam would show up for hearings, whether it be with the military, and I always told him, when you get up there, mention that you were in the military for over 30 years, because I wanted them to know what Sam stood for. In spite of the fact that in these later years, he's been part of the Hawaiian nation and helping to revitalize the Hawaiian nation and working for justice for our Aina and our people. Myself, Skippy Owani, and a few others were with him those original meetings for Ho'opakele, the prisoners' rights group, the group that's looking for more alternatives than a penal system that does not work. Sam, we would meet, Sam was the last kupuna that was left from that group. Auntie Eleanor Ahuna, Auntie Abby Napi'ahi, Sam, we would meet in Auntie Eleanor's house over in Keokaha. As they started Ho'opakele, almost 2 decades ago. And still, there are those that are fighting for an alternative to the prison system that does not work. An alternative that uses Hawaiian cultural practices. An alternative that would take those of victimless crimes and work with them in a cultural basis and otherwise to be able to help they and their ohana who would suffer through this incarceration process. Sam, you would call him, he would come to meetings, even if he had to use his walker to get to meetings and to get up there to testify. Sam, we love you. And Sam, as big as he was, would scamper. He would push as fast as he could to get up and share his mana'o and stand up for justice for our Aina and our people. You know, and I really appreciated that he even took on the military that he was a part of for oh so many decades. Sam, we will miss you. We love you. Warrior that you were and will continue to be wherever you may be in the spirit of aloha, aloha aina, and justice for our people. Mahalo.
Aloha kako. Again, as I said, that we were asked by Uncle Sam to put this celebration of life together, so it's kind of free form. All I knew is that if those of you wanted to speak up until our 11 o'clock scheduled formal ceremony, of which I've been luck of the draw, I'm the de facto kahu for it. And you guys better make sure that you wear your helmets, because being that I'm going to do the kahu thing, the Lord might take offense. But I know he has a sense of humor. At any rate, Len Poets is here, and any of you guys who can come up and spell us into the 11 o'clock hour, you're welcome to it, because if it goes flat, nobody want to talk, I'm going to make up the time to play music. So anyway, welcome, and you're all welcome to come up at this time.
Hi, I'm Dr. Leonard Horowitz, and about the year 2000, I came to the Big Island for the first time and drove past Hilo, and there was a big demonstration there. And for anybody that knows my work and Sherry King's work, we're pretty much radicals, and we're pretty much out there exposing the beast and You know, pretty much the military, medical, industrial, petrochemical, pharmaceutical cartel. So there was a person larger than life who was out in front. And I've been blessed to know Uncle Sam. He's left in me something that nobody has ever left in me. This powerful, beautiful presence of not just a warrior, but somebody who knew Pono, righteousness, and stood for it in everything he attempted to do in his own life. Uncle, I love you very much. You've changed my life. And I know that many of us feel the same way. We're left blessed. We're left far better off as people because he brought something that was strange to me. I grew up pretty much as a peace activist. I didn't understand how people could take up arms to fight in any battle. But Uncle Sam brought truth to me. She brought a bigger picture of reality to me, that there are some times that you have to pick up arms and you have to defend what is righteous. And so from Uncle Sam in his battling on behalf of the corruption and opposing the corruption to bring righteousness to the criminal injustice system and the deplorable way in which the Native Hawaiian people are being genocidally impacted, to bring righteousness to the prison system, to bring righteousness to our own families, our ohana, which have been deplorably underserved by the federal government of the United States. The battles that I watched and I witnessed, he was an icon. In my image, Uncle Sam was the icon, larger than life, for the entire independence movement for the restoration of the Kingdom of Hawaii. And so, with all those magnificent blessings, it was a privilege and pleasure for me to have been able to meet and know Uncle Sam and Auntie Beth. It was an honor for me and Sherry to, whenever we came to the Big Island, whenever we could, to get together with Uncle Sam and Auntie Beth. And every minute that we spent with him at dinner, breaking bread, it was just a blessing to have such a big-hearted, loving spirit, powerful presence with us. We will miss Uncle Sam. Thank you so much for all the blessings you've given us, Uncle Sam.
Glad to see you guys coming. The more tributes and accolades, the better. I want to say, interject something really quick. Okay, I met Uncle Sam in 1999, and as a Hawaiian sovereignty proponent, I had a real fundamental question for Uncle, and it was if he realized that the United States entity that actually pulled a gun on our Queen was the United States Marine Corps. And in all Uncle's wisdom, yeah, this is how he resolved that question. So again, those of you who are here who are Hawaiian sovereigntists and everything, we're going to be allowing as part of the ceremony, we're welcoming his comrades in arms to speak for him, and at some point in time we're going to ask them to sing the Marine Corps hymn. But I'll tell you this, Uncle told me, Naliko, the way I see it is, a gun in the hand of a policeman is a good thing. A gun in the hands of the criminal is a bad thing. He said the Marine Corps, which saved his life, yeah, he feels as though the Marine Corps, if it wasn't for the Marine Corps, he would have been one of the pa'ahau, yeah, or dead, yeah, that he was trying to save with Ohana Ho'opakele. That very easily could have been him. But for the Marine Corps, he went in, I believe, at 16. I think he snuck in. I think he got in early for Korea. But he would tell me, Naliko, you remember that the Marine Corps is just a large weapon, yeah, that wielded by a Pono leadership can do good things. It helps defend the country. But in the hands of evil people, can be used for evil things. You just remember that. And forever after that, I could reconcile that. Anyway, please join us. I need to introduce Chicken Skin having those discussions with that man. I ended up assisting him in the Kai Marines reunion almost 10 years ago on Oahu, and I was very, very pleased to help do a lot of the administrative work for that reunion for him. And again, even though I'm a Hawaiian Kingdom believer, and that question was answered. So I urge you all to understand that part of who and what that man was all about. Mahalo.
Hi, my name is Larry Kelly. I've known Sam about 10 years through different movements that he's always been to. I think the thing I'm going to miss the most is his deep voice. And Kelly, he just had a wonderful, vibrant way about him. But I received a message from him, it was December 5th, when he was in the hospital. And he said something I thought was profound. He said, it's a blessing from God that we have good friends amongst us. And I really think that that's the way he viewed everybody. And as strong as he was also a gentle, loving human being. And I really will miss him. But I know he'll be with me as well.
Aloha Noah. Maybe I didn't pronounce it right. I'm Bob Johnstone. Sam called me Lopaka. Lopaka Kaleleiki Kanai. He adopted me. As you indicated, a gun in the hand of a Marine is something to ponder. It was always Sam's wish and desire to preserve and protect paradise. I come here today to honor, remember, and to celebrate the wonderful life of my dearest of friends, Sergeant Major Samuel Kaleleiki. I'm a Marine, I'm a retired Lieutenant Colonel, I'm a past president, member of the Board of Directors of the Marine Corps Tankers Association, the National Tankers Association. I bring condolences and heartfelt sympathy for Punani, Panano, and all of the Ohana Nui from all Marine Corps tankers and Marines. On behalf of the membership of Marine Corps Tankers Association, we wish to honor Sam as a founding member of our association and as a member of the Board of Directors. And to that end, our annual reunion, which will be held here in Hawaii in November of 2015 in his honor. I bring a special message of remembrance from Major Leo Gildersleeve, Colonel Conway Casey, hello, Master Gunnery Sergeant Len Maffioli, and Sergeant Major Bob English. Sam was our comrade in arms, and a true, make no mistake about it, warrior. He had loyalty, he had wisdom, he had courage, and he had kindness. All of the attributes of a warrior from the beginning of history. Sam was a Marine who best exemplified for all of the generations the aloha spirit of love, devotion, and loyalty. The kingdom of Hawaii is paradise. Hawaii and the Hawaiians are land and a people loving and lovable. In what other land is the commonest form of greeting one word, aloha? That is always more than an impersonal remark and is a positive affirmation of the warmth of one's own heart giving. My love to you, I love you. Aloha. The land is as loving and lovely as such a people. Hawaii is not strictly tropical, but subtropical. In the heel of the northeast trade winds, with altitudes rising from coral beaches to snow-capped summits 14,000 feet into the air. There's no place on earth where so much climate is gathered together. With those who come to Hawaii, somehow the love of the islands just happens, and they are swept off their feet in the first moments of meeting. Mark Twain wrote, quote, "No alien land in all the world has any deep, strong charm for me but that one. No other land could so longingly and so beseechingly haunt me, sleeping and waking through half a lifetime as that one has done. Other things leave me, but it abides. Other things change, but it remains the same. For me, its balmy airs are always blowing. Its summer seas flashing in the sun. The pulsing surf beat is in my ears. I can see its garland crags, its leaping cascades, its plumy palms, and drowsing by the shore, I can feel the spirit of its woodland solitudes." With the reverence of this reality of paradise and the land and its people, Sam's mission was always to preserve and to protect paradise and to welcome only those who came here to these beautiful lands with that same mission in mind. And with that spirit, welcome aloha. Sam was the epitome of aloha aine, I think I pronounced that right. The love of the land and one's country. Sam will live on forever. This I took from my dictionary, but it didn't teach me the pronunciation. I aloha aku au I ka mia a ui mano I aloha aku. Forgive me for the pronunciation. We remember this man and the footprints of this man as the footprints of the king. Major Leo Gildersleeve, the poet laureate of the Marine Corps Tankers Association, wrote a poem for Sam. And he knew Sam well, and I think this speaks well. If you don't mind, I'll read it to you. To Sam, a true friend. God chose the day I was born and marked my day to die. Before death quiets my aging voice, I wish to have one final choice. On the day marked for me to die, put me down where warriors lie. Beside these men who never asked why, but gave their lives for you and I. Bury me with silent prayer next to these men whose lives I share. I know their courage, humor, and fears, and shared their pain with sweat and tears. Separate me from priests and preachers, journalists and politicians, from wise men who talk but never do, and appeasers whom I dislike through and through. So promise me you'll put me down where warriors lie and mark my place with a cross, with my name, rank, and service number neatly embossed. Then cover my grave with soft soft green moss. Millie Casey, Colonel Casey's wife, asked me to present this and read this for all, and I thought it appropriate to do so. It is a quote from Mr. H.S. Holland. Death is nothing at all. I have only slipped away into the next room. I am I, and you are you. Whatever we were to each other, that we still are. Call me by my old familiar name. Speak to me in the way you always used. Put no difference in your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we have always laughed at jokes we enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Life means all that it ever meant. It is just the same as it always was. There's absolutely unbroken continuity. I am but waiting for you, for an interval somewhere very near, just around the corner, and all is well. Thank you. God bless Sam, Banani, and Hanano, and Ohano Nui, the Kingdom of Hawaii, and the United States Marine Corps, and may He keep our souls in His grace. Marines, stand, please. Marines, stand. Members of the chorus, on your feet. Make it so. Thank you. Ready? To the music. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battle on the inland air and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines. Hoorah! Hoorah! And anybody else, when you get to heaven, you'll see the streets are guarded by United States Marines. Preferably an M48A3 tanks.
Number 5, brother.
Number 5.
Okay.
I did see on YouTube at Camp Pendleton a particular video with some young Marines singing a religious hymn. And the chorus of it was hurrah, and then there ain't no God like Jehovah.
Oh, yeah.
Aloha. I'm Auntie Janet Delaria. About 15 years ago, someone gave me a Hawaiian name of Manu Nani, meaning beautiful bird. I never met Sam in the body. I was invited to come today by my friend Brenda. I wanted to see what a beautiful Hawaiian farewell was like. When I came up and looked at his picture and looked at his box of ashes, I could feel his spirit. And I think that's what we're celebrating today, is the spirit of this man who was wonderful. Most of you know him as a warrior. When I walked up, I felt the sweetness and gentleness Because every good warrior has sweetness and gentleness under that, because they have this ideal and they know that they're working to make and create something that's really beautiful and safe, and the ohana and for the aina, and that's why they're taking up their arms to keep that safeness and that beauty available to all. There's a group of us on the mainland who were born with Hawaiian hearts. And I want to sing you a little song, which is a Hawaiian blessing song. I only know the English. I apologize. I believe there's a Hawaiian version of it somewhere. But it's something we say at celebrations. And this is a celebration of such a spirit that is an inspiration and a foundation for all of us. And thank goodness the Spirit never leaves. And when we pray and meditate, I'm sure that His Spirit will be there to help us. Ula, cherished one, you are my heart's child. Ula, cherished one, happiness will come to you. Ula, cherished one, you are my heart's child. All this world is yours. All this world is yours. Mahalo.
Aloha everyone, and aloha Uncle Sam, know you're with us. I'm Galen Kelly, and I consider myself a fellow activist with Uncle Sam, and was often with him on the front lines of many different causes. And the one word I would attribute to Uncle Sam would be fearless, because there was nothing he wouldn't take on, and there was no one he wouldn't stand up to. When I first came to Hawaii as a young girl in 1970, you know, I had no idea that there was an overthrow and an occupation. I came kind of looking for God and paradise, which I definitely found, but I also found a bigger cause in terms of injustice and what is being done, still being done to a people, in terms of their culture, heritage, language, tradition, religion. And I knew I had to be a part of that. And I remember as a haole saying to Uncle Sam, you know, Uncle Sam, would it be better if I just kind of went away, if the haoles we left? Would that help the nation restore? And he said, no, you gotta stay, we need you. And it just was such a warm welcoming. And he, for me, was an alpha Hawaiian because he took on all the causes. He was able to, his nose was in every injustice, and he always wanted to set things right. So he transcended the idea of bloodline, because he always told me, if you are in aloha and live aloha, you are my ohana. And Sam's arms were always open that way. And the thing that I shared most deeply with him, you know, we were geothermal and the military, but the biggest thing was the ho'oponopono training. And he always brought home the fact that everything that was wrong and every mistake that was made, every wrong judgment call, every hurt, could be healed and changed through the process of that ho'oponopono beautiful practice. And I once said to him, Uncle Sam, what if you have a rift with someone, or they hurt you, and you offer them ho'oponopono, and they refuse? He said, well, offer it a second time. So I said, well, what if you offer it a third time and they still don't want to do it? And he said, then you're off the hook. He said, but that doesn't mean we stop loving them or we stop trying. So that was a big lesson. So again, I think of him as an alpha male. He gave me courage. to just be unafraid to get out there and say what you're doing is not right and we're here to stop it. So thank you, Uncle Sam. I'm forever grateful. Aloha.
Aloha Tapo. As I said, we're trying to move forward to an 11 o'clock service. I see our kahu, who Reverend Ron Fujiyoshi is here. I think Reverend Ron was with one of the key players for Ohana Hopakele, and I've asked Reverend Ron to do the invocation, but until we get there, I would like to have a very regimented. I would just as soon stay with my plan for 11 o'clock. So, hey, Gary Huffeld, would you please come up real quick, would you please? If you take a look at this urn that, let me introduce Gary Huffeld. He's with the local Hawaiian government, Gary Huffeld. He's our government coordinator for this island. And Gary Huffeld, I've asked him to come up because Gary is responsible for this urn. And I think some of you heard the story I told earlier about it. This is the craftsman. Not only has he given his heart, to our cause, but he is such a craftsman that he was with me in Queens Hospital, sitting with Uncle Sam as he was describing to us his last wishes. And what he asked for was an urn such as this, and the emblems that you see on this is what we heard together. One of them is the Hawaiian Kina flag. One is his beloved Marine Corps emblem. One is the tank that you heard the stories about that he served in, an M60. And the other one is the Hawaiian Royal Seal. And this box was it was made by this gentleman here, and I have great honor. And it was engraved by another of our family friends on Oahu, and we were able to move it. Henry Noah, our Prime Minister, was able to move it for us. It was an interesting coming together of cooperation. And so I wanted Gary just to kind of, if you don't mind, Gary, how it went down making this thing. So please.
We'll see how this goes because I'll talk as long as I can about it, but I'm still a little on the emotional side. If you catch me individually later, when I'm more composed than I might be at a minute or two, I do have some really wonderful stories over the last couple of days to share with people. But actually Sam asked me to make this urn for him and his wife 5 years ago. And I said, it's too early, you know. I'm not even going to talk about it at that time. And yet, subconsciously, I recorded everything that he wanted in my head. And he spent many, many hours, him and I, in my shop while he watched me make things. And his eye for attention and detail was something I've never seen in anyone in my shop before. And someone told me when he joined the Marine Corps, he didn't know how to read. So we've come from a country where they had 95% literacy at the time of the overthrow to a point where someone like Sam couldn't read. But he was so intelligent and so sharp in Hawaiian ways and Hawaiian thought that he remembered little small details. And I believe that Sam himself could have built that box after watching me build it because his eye and his hands were so sharp and clear. And I absolutely feel like he was there helping me build it in the moment as it happened. And shoot, I can tell you wonderful stories about the box. I knew he wanted to make it out of mango because there were a couple mango trees in the yard. He told me that they used to sit underneath as a family and talk and chat. And I just happened to be kind of the expert down here on mango woodworking stuff. So it worked really well that I was able to do it. And then the idea of building the box out of koa came up. And of course koa, the warrior, seemed so important that I put aside my conversation with Sam and saw another side, you know. And so I spent the whole day milling some koa that I had to find from a Marine friend of his, found a piece of koa for me, spent the whole day milling it and then set it on the bench in my shop so that the next day I could walk out and build this urn. As soon as I walked out to the shop, it ended up being 3 boards, 8 inches wide, 24 inches long, and about a ½ inch thick on a stack. And when I touched the boards, they exploded with the sound of a gunshot. And I mean, anyone who's worked with wood knows that happens. Stress inside wood, especially the curl and the type. Actually, I guess human hearts do the same thing, right? When you have that much passion, you can't contain it. And it exploded off, and when it did, it blew 3 hearts off the 3 pieces of wood. Anyway, I'm telling you because to me it was such a magical moment. But like I said, it was the sound of a gunshot. And I felt absolutely that Sam said, it's not koa, it's mango. So I actually shaped one of those pieces of koa, the biggest piece, into a koa heart. And I thought, Uncle Sam was so much more than a warrior. But he did have the heart of a warrior. So when and there's a lot involved in the urn, getting it to Oahu, getting it back over here, the engravings. And then I had the task of fitting them in the box. And as I started, it didn't fit. So I had to compress and shake. You know, when you get a cup of flour and it's too much, but if you shake it down, you get an accurate measurement. So I shook and I shook and I compacted and I shook and I compacted. And finally he settled down into his final resting place. But on the top of that box, I put one of those hearts. So right on the top of that box, there's a koa heart. And if you pick the box up, if you're able to, and Pua will let you, give that a little shake and you're going to hear the heart rattle just a little bit at the top of the box. And then just this morning, I took one of the other pieces of koa before I came now, and I shaped it into another heart and gave it to Pua. And she'll probably show it to you later because she felt like she wanted to have that for herself besides the urn. So anyway, that's the general part of the story. I may come up later and talk, like I said, individually, anyone who wants to talk to me about his last few days, they were amazing. They were just amazing. Kaleleiki and I were there for his birthday, which was the 23rd. I could talk forever, but anyway, I'll let you guys go. But anyone who would like to talk to me about things in particular, just catch me on this. I'll be happy to talk with you. Thank you.
Aloha kako. I don't know if anybody, if you saw the little pamphlets we put out with some of Uncle's information. They were by the book, the sign-in book, but these are all mostly Hawaiian words, but except for Amazing Grace, we're asking if you would sing with us when we get into our service. And when we do get started, like I said, it's, yeah, Reverend Ron, 15 minutes, it's all right with me. I'm not that regimented. It has to start 11 o'clock straight up. But being that I wanted to start the ceremonies with you, is everybody about ready for this thing to start on? You vote? Oh, you want to come up now? Please, Russell. We have special guests in the house from the different islands because they came to participate. Yeah. Oh, well, I got questions. Can you? That'll take us right nicely into 11 o'clock. And I can stay OCD like I am. Everybody knows that I'm that way, right? I have a appointed position as the Minister of the Interior of the Hawaiian Kingdom, and people are constantly assailing me for holding the line on certain protocols and laws that have been passed. And I said, the term government means a lot. If we have a legislative government, and I'm just like the keeper of the keys for identification and processing, if I give that up, we have nothing. So I said, deal with it, tough luck. And it's lucky that I am kind of linear. So anyway, I'd like to introduce one of our legislators from the lawful Hawaiian government, all the way from Hana, Maui. This is Representative District 5, Mr. Russell Kawokele.
3, Alpha 3, Alpha 3, 2, 1, over. Alpha 3, Alpha 3, Alpha 3, 2, 1, come back.
Alpha 3, leave it Charlie.
Request permission to speak freely, sir.
You have it.
I'd like to take this opportunity to salute all of you men and women who may have served either in the Marine Corps, the Army, Navy, Air Force. I grew up pledging allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. My father was a Marine, like Uncle Sam. I joined the Army just to spite him. I got out with an honorable discharge. I was ready to lay my life down to defend the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And it's for this reason I salute you men and women. Because of your action, all of the free people around the world's rights are protected, but more importantly, within what we consider our country. Yeah? America considers Hawaii part of the United States of America. We consider Hawaii to still be an independent and sovereign nation. We had a treaty with America called a Friendship, Trade, and Commerce. In fact, we had several treaties, and it is our intention to maintain our friendship because there's a lot of good people in the country. Can't say there's so much for the American government. I'm sure there's one or two good politicians in there. But it's the people who make it great. And I'm proud of this man and all those who served, but yet is willing to not only serve America, but serve our country. Our country is a peaceful, neutral nation. We passed resolutions in our legislative body declaring Hawaii nuclear free. That might be a mistake, but our Queen put her trust in the Lord, and that's where we put our trust in. But the battle that we're doing right now is not one that's going to be won with guns. The Lord said that the pen is mightier than the sword. However, it takes brave men and women who would be willing to stand up against injustices, who would be willing to lay their life down so that the weak can be protected and enjoy their freedoms. But because this struggle that we're doing is so hard, there's been times when I contemplated giving it up. Not because I don't believe in justice, but because it seems that the vast majority of the people don't care. Unless they're being individually suppressed and oppressed, they don't care. If they got a good job, if they got a good house, if their kids are off in college, they don't care about the others sitting on the side. And there's a lesson to be learned in that as well. Because you can sit down and cry foul and complain to the referees who is part of the other team. But nothing's going to happen. You can't sit down, you got to stand up. And when you stand, make sure you stand with aloha like this man. Yeah, I swore allegiance all my life, only to find out that I was lied to. But there's no room in my heart for hatred because I accepted Jesus Christ to be my personal Lord and Savior. So the question is, what do we do? And how do we correct this so that our nations can move forward with love? Uncle Sam found out that I was contemplating giving up this fight. And from his deathbed on Oahu, he called me up to tell me, never, never give up. Until your last breath, never give up. And it is for this reason I stood yesterday before our legislative body to confirm my commitment to my Prime Minister and my government. that I will never give up. I might not always represent, but I will always support our plight to correct this injustice. Because of this man, and there's many more good men out there, and regardless if you served in the military or not, if you stand for what is right and for justice, this is our plight. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. Oh, and I forgot to mention one thing. Sergeant Decoit, I bought Portuguese too, not just pure wine. That's like Gary can go on and on, but I know we want to continue remembering this man and what he stood for. So mahalo and aloha.
Aloha, my name is Denise Brigade, and I just want to say a few things in regard to my Uncle Sam and all of your Uncle Sam. He's here with us, he's everywhere, and this is such a beautiful story about the heart and the exploding wood. That's Uncle Sam. And all I need to say is what I think that Sam would say, and what his life radiated is a letter. And also, one more thing before I step down. The United States government, the U.S. Marine Corps, and all those that came up here to speak in regard to Uncle Sam. I'm sure that Uncle Sam would want you to take forth what is in his heart and in the hearts of the Hawaiian people, this land, and make the United States government see what's wrong is wrong and to make what is wrong right. I think that is your job to take that forth. You have the power, you have the stance, the position. Now do something about it with that position. Make the difference and make it right. And let it begin with aloha here now. Thank you so much. Thank you, Uncle Sam. We love you so much. We love you.
Our last open mic speaker before we start the ceremonies, I'd like to introduce from the island of Kauai. This man wears a number of different hats for the lawful Hawaiian government. He is a Kauai noble. He resides in District 2, the central area of Kauai. He is also our island coordinator. And the biggest hat of all, I think, is that he serves as the Speaker of our House of Legislation that's made up of two bodies, the House of Nobles and the House of Representatives, Mr. Kekanipa.
Hello to all. Thank you, Mr. Naki. You know, today's a special day. I want to thank each and every one of you that attended this services for our beloved friend, father, uncle, grandfather, Uncle Sam. My father was also a Marine. He passed six years ago. His name is Sam Paul. So I come here to give my honor to the fellow brothers. When they come to Kauai, they all sit in a circle and they talk about their stories. One thing we're not going to hear anymore in our conventions is Uncle Sam's favorite word. Hi diddle diddle, straight up the middle. And what's the other one? He always say, all rise, every convenient. All rise, I diddle diddle, straight up the middle, let's go. And these are the kind of stuff that, you know, sitting up here as a body of the legislative member of the lawful Hawaiian government, as the Speaker of the House, you get to, you know, realize the character in these individuals and what is their best favorite saying, you know. So it's for me, and the rest of our our brothers and sisters as in this process, we're not going to be able to hear that anymore, you know. And he was such a, again, over and over, many people talked about it, continuous, how passionate and nice person he was. You know, he seems to know what angry and not angry is all about. And as long as I knew Uncle Sam, he doesn't never seem angry. He might disagree with you. You know, and I guess it's the power of life that the older we get, the younger we look or the better we smile. You know, it is just something about him that touches me, and you know, we'll greatly miss him, such as each and every one of you guys. And the fight for justice, it's not about fighting. And like the speaker in front of us, the pencil is the sword, the ink. We should never fight. We should exercise the right. Mahalo nui, o Hilo.
Aloha kako one more time, fellow Marine, Charles, Ota, please.
Good morning. My name is John Rota. Sam and I joined the Marine Corps same time. We went through boot camp, went through all the hell and everything else. Ended up in Korea. Saw quite a bit of action over there. And after Korea we separated. He went one way and I went another. As it ended up, Sam ended up in the tank battalions, but he still was part of the infantry divisions. I ended up in the Marine Corps Air Wing. And we had different kinds of experiences after that, but even in Vietnam, we were sitting down and talking story one day, and he was telling me about a situation that he was in with one of the tanks when they were trying to penetrate and go all the way toward Laos. And somehow the Viet Cong had some tanks that they were trying to destroy his tank, firing on him. And he said he was stuck. And so all of a sudden he said, somehow, he says, I don't know how it happened, but he said, here comes an airplane. And he said it looked like the airplane was going to fire at him. And he said instead it just lifted right above his head and fired at the Viet Cong tanks, destroyed both of them. And he said, I never seen anything like that in all my life. And I told him, I said, well, in the air wing, I said, we're always there looking out for the ground troops. All the ground troops have to do is radio. They said we either send a helicopter, a back plane, or a fighter plane. Try to help the ground troops. I said, this is what Marine Corps is all about. He said, although our airplanes are in the air, I said, we're there primarily to support the ground troops. Similarly, I would say the Hawaiian movement is very similar. I was with Sam when he first retired and he came back here to the islands. And he was talking about how the Hawaiian government, sovereign government, need to get started. And so we used to sit down and we used to talk sorry. And after much discussion and everything,
it was decided that this one individual in Oahu would be the foreign minister, and he would formulate the government. As it was, he was the only one there for quite a while that was so-called the head of the sovereign government. And I told Sam, I said, need to get all the various departments, get people in it, get the whole government organized. And so we had a big meeting over in Oahu, and it was the first time that the sovereign government was actually formulated with all the various departments. And there was one or two individuals that got assigned into managing that department. However, the total government was still, everybody was not assigned to all the various departments or anything. And it was still in a work in progress. But somewhere along the line, I told Sam, I said, you keep up with that. I said, I'm not going to go to any more meetings. But I said, I support all what you are trying to accomplish. I said, I support the Hawaiian movement. I said, the Hawaiian people, I said, are about as close to me as my own family. I said, my grandfather first came to Hawaii to work in sugarcane plantation. My parents did too. They were from Japan. But I was born here on this island. But I feel the closeness to the Hawaiian people, what they are attempting to achieve. And I support all what they do. But I'm at the age anymore that I'm getting old enough that I can't move around as much as I used to. And so I just kind of shied away from it, and I haven't been going to meetings or anything. But I wish the Hawaiian sovereign government to achieve their independence like they should have all along. Thank you.
On behalf of the Kaleleiki family, I'd like to offer, before we start our formal ceremony, I'd like to truly thank the Keliihoomalu family for making this hale, this aina, available for these services. Mahalo. Uncle Robert, Samuel, sisters and brothers, this was one of the things that Uncle Sam specifically asked us to do from his bed in Honolulu, was to ask the Keliihoomalu family for the permission to have this celebration of life here. And Uncle Robert so nobly agreed with him. It was an automatic. They spent a lot of time together on this fight. And in fact, I first met our elected Prime Minister Henry Noah, Uncle Robert Keliihoomalu, and Uncle Sam Kaleleiki at the top of this driveway, sitting underneath the tree in 1999. It was an auspicious moment for me. So it has meant a lot. It seems like it's like a blink of an eye, 16 years have gone by. And again, I have been truly, truly honored to be asked to help MC to conduct this celebration of Uncle's life, to hear the stories from his comrades in arms, both in the United States Marine Corps as well as in the lawful Hawaiian government efforts. We are all in this together. And we can honor Uncle. I'll tell you this, that Uncle one of the things I did want to say before we start off was that you either really, really loved Uncle, or you could really, really hate Uncle. That man was almost no more in between, you know. And we ask, those who really, really perhaps hated him for his beliefs and his positions, to remember, that po may kainamya apaw, love heals all. I'd like to, at this time, ask Reverend Ron Fujiyoshi to give us our invocation. This part of it, started, please, Reverend Ron. There you go, please, start. Come on up.
Aloha. It's an honor to participate in this celebration of life of my good friend, Uncle Sam Kaleleiki Jr. My name is Ronald Fujiyoshi. In June of 2000, I became the treasurer of Ohanaho Pakele at the same time that Uncle Sam became our president. So I've been a gopher for Uncle Sam for all this time. And those of you know who Uncle Sam is, you know gophers are kept very busy. The invocation will be very short, so I hope you are listening. Let us pray. Puli kako. Keakua. Those who have gathered for this special celebration of life, unite our hearts in asking you to be present with us today. Bless the stories that have been and will be shared, and how Uncle Sam made a difference to us individually. Bless these stories so we can appreciate the full impact that Uncle Sam had on people's lives. Mahalo for your gift to all of us in the life of Samuel Kaleleiki Jr. Mahalo for this gift that you gave us for 79 years. You molded your gift to us by starting with his heart. You gave him a warm, big heart that responded to the needs of others. Then you molded Sam's leadership skills by sending him into the Marine Corps. You made him aware of just how fragile life is in Vietnam and in Korea. You returned him to Hawaii with a strong belief in you and a deep resolve to serve his people. You taught him that a life of commitment also comes with cost. Shower his family with love and compassion, and remind all of us to reach out to them as they grieve their loss. Continue to lift up the dream that Sam had for his people and for his nation, so that we will be continually inspired to complete that dream for Sam, for you, and for ourselves. As we continue to celebrate the life of Samuel Kaleleiki Jr., unite us all in commitment to complete the dreams that we hold deep in our na'a. Enfold us all in your forgiving love as we mourn and as we celebrate this special life. Amen.
Good morning. I'm a former Marine. My name is Andrew. I ride with these brothers who have come to honor Sam and to stand as honor guard for Sam as he passes to the next pages of his journey. Yeah? In our walk, we're blessed to know people who bring us to a reality that we're no longer able to comprehend, and that's what Sam was for me. In the Marine Corps, he was a teacher to me before Vietnam. I returned from Vietnam blessed, and again he was my boss as he was leaving the Marine Corps. Sam and I are both Amtrackers. The Amtrackers are those people who transport the combat Marines to a fighting zone from a ship or from a rear area to a forward portion of a fighting zone. And this is how Sam and I met, and what we had in common was that warrior ethic, which was very deep in Sam. I was blessed to know the man for in excess of 40 years. We spent time together, and in his time with me there was healing, and I'm reminded of a grandfather of the Lakota Sioux, Gray Eagle, who spoke in council and brought to council the knowledge that the true test of a warrior's strength is in his powers of healing. And in those powers of healing, I bring to this family, and bring to Uncle Robert, and bring to all of those who knew Sam and loved Sam, a blessed eagle feather, significant of a warrior's ethic, to guide him in his journey. This is a sacred, sacred thing, and it comes from the nation that bore 1 million souls and 1 million different warriors, of which Sam is now a part thereof. I would like to pray. Aho. Aho, yatahe washta. Aho, yatahe wakantonka. May Grandfather North, through the light in his night sky, guide Sam in his new discoveries on his next journey. May the Grandfather South bring the warm rains to heal and wash all of us, that we might grow. And yet the Grandfather East bring the morning sun that warms us and brings life to our land. And know that it brings that same light and that same warmth on the face of Sam. And finally, may Grandfather West bring the sleep of the ages in night and the cool, quiet dream that goes on for forever and ever. Yatahe Oashtaho. Yatahe Wakantoka. Aho. Aho. Sam, aloha. Ahuiho. May God bless.
I'd like to give you guys the opportunity to all stand and stretch your legs for just a second. We're going to start this with Amazing Grace. This is one of Uncle Sam's favorite hymns. And we're going to move through it. We're going to do this a cappella. You guys got your words? Sing along. Yeah? We got words in your little booklet. Sing with us. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved.
How precious.
How precious is that grace appeared in the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, we have already come. 'Twas grace that brought us safe thus far, and grace will lead us home.
Amazing grace.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Doesn't get much more beautiful than that, everyone. Thank you. I'd like to say very quickly, you can sit down again. We're going to go song for song. I just want to give you a chance to relax. But at this moment, I wanted to allow the mic to go to the family. Poor Nani, please.
Okay.
Hinano. Yeah, you're in the headlights. Yeah. Hinano, come please. These are two of Uncle's children. I know Pua swore that she would not leave Uncle's side while he was in the hospital, and she did not. She was there when he passed, and we do these things for Pua and her brothers. And so please, I wanted her to say something to you guys and address the fact that she appreciates your coming. Yeah, please, Billy.
Now, my Uncle Oscar's over there, that's Daddy's brother.
Yeah, let me come. Uncle Oscar, we would like to have you come and join the family, please, to say a word here on the stage, please, if you can make it. Where's Hinano? Did he run? Did he hide? Where he stay?
He's coming.
Come on, Hinano, please.
He's coming. He's coming.
Yeah. Ooh.
There's my godfather there, Uncle Sonny.
Uncle
Here you go.
Sam.
This is all yours. I know it's hard. Follow the team. Hold on. Come on.
Just thank you for coming. But my father was my best friend. I'm gonna miss him alive. But thank you for loving him. I'm sorry. Thank you. That's fine. Daddy loved all you guys. He told me, tell everybody thank you and imua. You know, I'm sorry. Thank all my cousins for coming too. Daddy loves you guys.
Mahalo, everybody.
coming and celebrating my father's life. It's a celebration. We celebrate his life, remember his legacy and what he put down for all of us. And we just follow that path. All hot head. I start off with kind of late. We catch up. But my dad led well. And he believed in all of you guys. He believed in his cause. And he believed in what he does. What he did. What he stands for. So we'll move forward in that motion. And like I said, he had a great story. Yeah? When you leave this world, who knows what the next journey might bring. It might be just as wonderful as the one we stepped into. And so hopefully, with that legacy left behind, we can follow that lead and make things happen. Mahalo, everybody, and thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming to see my brother's blessings and everything. He was a good man, good Marine, good brother. And we just hope and pray that his soul rests in peace. All my cousins, everybody, thank you for coming. Mahalo, Hilo. Aloha.
Alpha 3, this is Echo Charlie 2. Request permission to speak.
Alpha 3, Lima Charlie, go ahead, over.
Echo 3, Echo Charlie, thank you. My name is Edward. To the Hawaiian Nation, I'm Paia Keliihoomalu. But right now, I just am so grateful, you know, that, and also thanking Robert Keliihoomalu. I came here about 3 days early trying to prepare things, but I know something was going on, but I wanted to do something beyond, okay? But that beyond never arrived, you know. But I have
all you guys.
Senator Gilbert Kaleleiki will come up with explain situation because time was not sufficient enough. Okay. But this is enough because we have all the warriors to bring over and the station with Sam. And I made life in Brother Sam much easier. But what I'm going to say is that if you want to hear more stories, good stories to fighting stories, not with tanks but with hands, there's a lot of stories. And I end up getting black eyes sometimes too. But all because of Sam. They create problems, and I have to go over there and wake guys out, and I'm on a small potato. But I took care of a lot of people. And through Sam, in the car, they take him up, not going to jail. So when he goes home, you know, I go home, Sam is with me. But if I go home myself, and the wife will ask, where's Sam? I can't tell him he's in the jail. You know? So I'm happy to be here, and I come to make here for tonight. We'll have something whenever we have it here, and we do some more explanation. I'll start from here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pretty bird, can you let us through? Thank you.
But you see, before you were members of the family, and what we wanted to sing together, what my plan was to sing together was Kulumeanui. And the reason why I chose it, again, Uncle Sam and I spent quite a bit of time in my home in Pahoa. He spent time with me on Kauai. Spent time in my home in Maui. I've been everywhere. But these are some of our favorite songs that we sang together in private, but now it seems like a very appropriate time that in spite of all families have fractures, all friends go through life and it's almost never a perfect life. It's almost never perfect. But the whole process of loving each other, making up, is I think epitomized in the song Keliihoomalu. There are three important things in life, and most of all is love, and love heals all things. What I'm asking any of the family members as soon as we sing the song is that please, since we've had some of the gang say a few words, but this my time before anybody else comes up, this is for you guys, yeah? Hey, you're gonna sing. Okay, so everybody join us. You can stand again with us. One more time. Keliihoomalu. Okay. Song, it's all right.
Aloha. My name is Andrew Akalo Sr. and I was asked to speak on behalf of the Akalo family, who is Sam's mother's family, who was originated in Kauai on the west side of the island. William Paul Mahinauli Akao and Lydia Awa'a Ho'okano had 6 children. And my dad, Apitai, was the second, and Auntie Carrie, Sam's wife, Sam's mom was the baby of the family. That's how we are related. We were first cousins. And we always used to speak on the phone. I was the president of the Hui Ohana or Akau, the Big Island chapter, and Sam used to always attend our meetings that we had in Kauai High. I used to call him up and let him know when the meetings were going to be held, and he would always show up, and he really enjoyed coming to the family gatherings. Even our reunions that we have every 5 years, he would enjoy coming over and talking with the family. Uncle Sam and I, when we talk on the phone, he always calls me cousin. Hey cousin, what's going on? So I tell him about the meetings, and he always used to tell me, hey cuz, you can fit me in for about an hour to talk about the sovereignty. And so I tell him, oh Sam, this is a family reunion. We gotta keep to the family business. Oh, put me in for about an hour. So finally I gave in, and one of the meetings I told him, okay Sam, I give you 1 hour and you speak to the Ohana, and then if you wanna listen more, then after the meeting you can go on the side and talk to them. Oh, he was so happy. He even gave me a big kiss. So Sam was one of my favorite, if not my favorite, most favorite cousins. We also always used to talk on the phone. So aloha Sam. Thank you.
Aloha. My name is Aloha Ke'ama. I'm from Kaneohe. Uncle Sam and my father were brothers. They're both from Kaneohe, even though he say he's from Papua. That's okay. Uncle Sam's mom was the best cook in the whole wide world. We always was there. When the 3 kids were born, Hinano, Pua, and Kamalani, we always used to go to the house and steal all the children and take them home with us. And when they were born, they're all, I swear they were like 15-pounders, all these 3 kids. They were really big. And my sister, Haunani, kind of hanai'd all the kids and took care of them when they were little. And I remember every time that uncle would come home, because we were younger, we were kind of scared because he thought we was his military people. So, but that was just his style, yeah. But his wife made up for the rest of the things. But he was loved by all. He had a sister Daisy, and that passed away, and he also have a brother that lives in Kaneohe, William, and of course Oscar, and Oscar's wife back there, Marianne. Hello. They live in Hilo also. But we had a lot of memories. There's 10 of us. My oldest brother James, my brother David, my sister Marv, my sister Butsi, my niece Nikki, my daughter Nani Kihao, came to represent our family because we love our uncle. We never called uncle before, Uncle Sam, until he became older, then he was our uncle. But before he was just either Sammy or Hopo. Okay? But we all still, most of us still live in Kaneohe on the windward side of Oahu. And I just want to say, Uncle Sam, sometimes we don't know what to expect, yeah. But you know what? We respect what he said because that's what he believed in. And we should support what he believed. And that's what we should do with one another. If we believe a cause, somebody believes, don't say anything against it, just believe it. Because you know what Uncle Sam said is true. It's really true. And when we were going to high school, we were never taught the truth. Yeah, it was just like, go over our heads. go over our heads. But we live as a family. We're really close, and whenever we have gatherings, our families always try to get together because we feel that families are forever. And we love one another, and thank you so much. This is such a nice trip for our family to come. We all came together and supporting Pua and Hinano and Kamalani and also Uncle Oscar for this wonderful man that lived upon this earth. And thank you so much for having us for this place, this aina that we have to come in and visit and be here and honor somebody that's really special in our family. And thank you all, and ahui ho.
I'm so, when I said a program, I try to stay with it. Patient. Please stand again, get your exercise, kanakawai-wai. This is one of those things that, it's funny, the missionaries taught us that a rich man has about as much chance of getting into heaven as a camel can get into the eye of a needle. But hey, who took all the money? That's a funny one, yeah, why? You guys don't believe anything all the time. Anyway, Uncle, yeah, one of the lessons that I learned from Sam, he's like me. We didn't have somebody watching over our pocketbook. We'd be broke all the time. Because we just gave it away, We lived that, And so, Uncle Sam, as long as I've known him, if we had one fundraiser for the government, we put up the seed money. Yeah, we buy the pork belly, we buy the pig, we buy the lao, we buy everything. We spend the time to put the thing together and cook it. Then we spend all day on the side of the road selling it. And then when we don't sell them all, we buy them again and put them in the freezer. That was our uncle. That's the Kaleleiki that I came to know and love. Because that man put his money where his mouth was. And that's why Kanaka Wai is dedicated to him. Everybody, please sing with me. Ma ke ahele ho Yesu, I halawai aku ai. Me ke kanaka o pio hano, kaulana I ka wai. Pane mai e ka hopio, he kuku haku mai kai. He raha ho I ka ue hana haku ai, Hilo a e ke ola mau. Hilo ai ke ola mau. He have lilo I mau ai vai. Huia ai mai. Hilo ai ke ola mau. Mina e ka hopio.
kona mau wai wai, I ke kuai a hawilino aku, I ka poe nele a hule. Ule a e o Yesu la, pane aku I ka hopio. A ole ai hiti tika naka vai vai, I ke au puni o ka lani. Hilo ai ke ola mawia oe, lilo o maua iwai, kuia hai mai aku, hilo ai ke ola I would like to have, if there was Kalikapu Deadman, are you here? I tell you what, are you here, Kalikapu? Would you like to please speak? Kalikapu Deadman was one of Uncle's closest allies and president of the Ohanahopa Kelly, the Hawaiian prisoner rescue effort here, and I'm very, very honored. He also was a part of the original burial council, perhaps a designer of it for us. And as well as all of the Hawaiian nation has a great debt of gratitude to this man. A hand, please.
You know, it was good getting to Uncle Sam. He had his focus, like the organization about nationhood, but you know, he also understood that one pill wasn't going to fix all. Nobody had a honest time when that was supposed to happen. Nobody had a calendar date when that was supposed to happen. But Uncle focused on not just that, but the daily lives of Hawaiians, our struggles, day to day. You know, you really can't have a nation with Hawaiians that's on social statistics. You know, it's a failure. You can't have Hawaiians that are leading socially in a lot of problems and prisons and medical situations, and education, and housing, and the daily life. Uncle now lost focus on that. He had his light, which was a government someday. That's what kept maybe the light at the end of the tunnel. But he was really understanding that this day-to-day life that we live with. And Hawaiians did come with traditions, it came with understanding and spirituality of its own sense. And we all know the struggles spiritually that we all have and how far we go in expressing and protecting and nurturing it. Uncle understood. I mean, when there was struggle with burials, which dealt with traditional beliefs, he was there. I saw Uncle in legislature, meetings, demonstrations, presentations. He was kind of an all-around Hawaiian that wanted to learn from all the struggles but never lose focus on who he was. I know he was 30 years as a Marine. I think that understood and understanding being a vet, how it is oppressing people in other parts of the world, seeing oppression, seeing things that is really sore to life. And then you come home and you got to make that evaluation. Because in Hawaii, under all the glitter is the opala. And the more glitter you put out there, the easier it is to hide the opala. So the opala is our social life, man. We never asked to be a star on the flag. We never asked anybody really to come. This is all occupying and intrusion, and we know the results of it. If I'm talking about social life, under everyday stats, if you want to pay attention to health stats, social life of Hawaiians, Uncle did. And I think that's what kept him alive all the time at meetings and at different groups, and expressing his point of view. He had a harsh way of expressing his point of view. I didn't think it was harsh. That's his personality. If you was on Sergeant Major in the Marines, you cannot sing songs and dance hula. I think you're a different kind of cut from the tree, you know. So I appreciated Uncle a lot. As a kupuna, he's reinforcement. You know, we just moved down the Calabas, so he was up there and he learned fast and he understood it. That's why I say that he was more than just lawful government. He was a day-to-day guy. And I think that's what we all gonna have to be, man, because we're not gonna make it in a nation that's a bunch of social statistic Hawaiians. You gotta clean up house and make who's responsible for dirtying house to clean it up. You look at Juan Opakele, I took over his position as president. We're right now into the courts of appeals. The whole idea of Kulani, we want it to be for Hawaiians only. 6,000 prisoners in the state of Hawaii, 4,000 Hawaiians. The programs ain't working. We have to step up and take care of ourselves. Government's a failure. Our trusts are failures. We almost have to do it ourselves, and that's kind of fire he had, that he realized that. He was Kekeoka. We all love everybody. All our families get all kind of mixed cocoa. But we cannot lose track of who we really are as a Hawaiian. And there's a lot of other places where all that cocoa can go to and call that home. But the main cocoa no can call home with all this kind of pilikia. So Uncle wanted a puhonua, a place for us to take care of ourselves. I think we know how. And the other one ain't working. So that was his light and his fire. That's the thing we get common ground, Uncle and everybody, is that we're going to keep his fire burning. It's not a day that's going to come and go. Our struggles forever is going to have his vision in it. So it's a component of everything we'll be going to be involved with in the future. So I really think that we should all realize that the day-to-day struggle is important. The OP is important. Our traditional practices are important. That's the high root of who we are. We understand the appearance or the arrival of Christianity. But our tradition wasn't pilau. It kept paradise long time before that came. So I'm kind of proud of my root. And we can grow many roots. But the high root's the main one. And that comes with traditions. And nobody, especially in government, respect those traditions. Like I said, we get a lot of other spiritual worship buildings across the street, one street, that street. You don't go heaven, cross the street, try that one. You always get one place for, run away to. We don't have that. And you can see the pilikia about religion all over the world and how people take it serious. And how if you only criticize, you come to this kind of terrorist kind of stuff. We're not asking or being like that. We just want respect of our traditions. And for us not even getting that far, that's plenty advantage you took. Because we're still not there in acting that way about our real traditional beliefs. No more extra Hawaii, you know, and no more extra Hawaiians. We're all passing through one time, and like Uncle Sam, it's, remember, a lifetime commitment. You're not going nowhere, it's your house. So we gotta clean our house and be proud about who we are, the few that's left, and respect those that still practicing tradition. It's not about, we don't want nothing wrong with being Westerners. Every program, everything geared for us to go that direction. I don't know any program or FISEDs put to Hawaiians staying Hawaiians. So that's our struggle almost, and our opportunity or our time to stand up to that. Make that voice. Make everybody know that we come with these things. You cannot just get off the island and ignore who we are and how traditional we are. So traditions, as I say, even Uncle was a strong Christian. He stood up for Tutupele. It's just an Hawaiian thing. You cannot really run away from who you are. We can try fake them, but not gonna work. So, my aloha to everybody, the aloha, like Uncle. We'll keep the fire going. I will keep his vision, and it's a lifetime commitment. Aloha.
Comments on that manao is that another of Uncle's favorite sayings is that don't confuse stupidity with ignorance. You have a right to be ignorant, yeah, and it's not a sin. But Uncle Sam felt very strongly that you have an obligation to yourself to take yourself out of that state of ignorance and learn. Yeah? Another people came into our islands and intentionally kept us in a state of ignorance. And I'd like to say that I'm only at 25% Hawaiian. Yeah? Coco Quantum. And that allowed for a foreign country to consider me non-Hawaiian. I lived in Portland, Oregon for almost 20 years because there was nothing for me here. And I had no program for me because I wasn't Hawaiian. A foreign country considered that I was in Hawaii. And the next person I'm going to introduce to you to speak is responsible for taking many of us out of that state of ignorance and assisted us into almost a different level. So I tease him all the time. I tell him that he actually gave me the gift that I keep on having to pay for. I'd like you all to stand for the singing of our national anthem, and I will have the next guest come speak. Please stand with me for Hawaii Pono'i. Hawaii Pono'i Nana I Komori Kalari I'd like to have the elected Prime Minister of the lawful Hawaiian government, Mr. Henry Moore, address you at this time. Mr. Prime Minister.
Aloha, everybody. You know, it's so wonderful to see everybody here celebrating Uncle Sam, you know. And I had the privilege of meeting Uncle Sam 16 years ago. And of course, my meeting with Uncle Sam was a very interesting one. First of all, I didn't realize he was 30 years as a sergeant major. And of course, I was there to try to get Uncle Sam to participate, yeah, in our government process. And I tell you, I don't think that was the easiest thing to do, okay? Because Uncle Sam had a personality. Oh, I tell you, I met a lot of people in my life, but trying to convert one 30-year sergeant major to become a statesman, that was the most difficult thing I've ever experienced. Because I tell you, yeah, Uncle Sam told you what was on his mind. And it didn't matter what you were talking about. And the thing that I loved about Uncle Sam was he always told you the truth. And sometimes the truth is very harsh, okay? But he never wavered. And like I said, I had the privilege of working with Uncle Sam now for 16 years, okay? And I got to know this man, and you know how rough he was around the edges. He was this little puppy inside, you know? I tell you, he would be strong, and yet he would be so endearing, okay? I mean, my wife told me not to, you know, get too emotional. That's kind of hard. It really is. Because Uncle Sam was like a father figure to myself and to, I'm sure, all of us in here. You know, what he said, yeah, had so much meaning and depthness that it really helped me as an individual, yeah, as young as I am, yeah, to try to get someone, yeah, who's 20 years older than me to accept challenges and yet try to stay within these boundaries that what's required. But you know, throughout the years that I've had the pleasure to work with Uncle Sam, all I saw, yeah, was an individual that continually strived to do the best that he could in any situation. And for myself, again, you know, Uncle Sam had served, yeah, in our government as a legislator for 16 years. 16 years. And I'm so proud of him. Okay, because it is, you know, it is something that you have to choose, and it's not a simple thing to confront with. And of course, you always have the challenge of trying to get others to believe in what you believe in. But for myself, I love this man. I'm going to miss him, okay? I'm going to miss his phone call, you know? And I can only say to you, this individual was very special, very kind, and I really love him. Having said that, I want to thank all of you, okay, and say mahalo for coming. Mahalo.
The term onipa'a comes to mind. Onipa'a is Queen Liliuokalani's motto in her reign. It may have gone back before her time, but to oni is to do this wavering. Onipa'a means hilo right up the middle, forever. Onipa'a means steadfast. That's the slogan. And this man was steadfast. The other thing, watching the Prime Minister give his presentation, is the fact that only the ones you love the most, yeah, I speak this with my own family in mind, the ones you love the most, at times because of disagreements, can hurt you the most, yeah. I used to tell my children, you cannot possibly enjoy the highest of highs in life unless you have experienced the lowest of lows. Yeah. It's something that you got to keep in mind. Yeah, that the most important thing that Uncle came to know, and too many of us learn this so late in life, is that aloha is the most important thing. Yeah, and families are the most important thing. One of the things I learned from one of my tutus in Nihao was, aloha au ia oi, I love you. This is how you finish your arguments, your fights, yeah, with your family, your babies, especially when they're telling you, I'm getting out of here, I can't put up with this. You tell them, aloha, wau, ia oi, I love you, and hamamakopuka. Hamamakopuka means that door is always open. This will always be your house, and we will always be your parents. And the same is true of this house of government. Forces beyond our control have forced us to go yeah. We have been forced by a foreign power to not really know who we are or where we're supposed to go. And so those are the kind of things that we need to sit down, look at each other, honi each other, pili each other, and realize that what we do is for the future of our babies. Without a healthy aina, yeah, in programs that we implement, this is what Uncle learned, that we implement to malama our aina, how can that aina malama our babies? If this government is not set for the benefit of the people, our conflict with the usurpers is that they do everything for money for the corporations. I look out here and I see our beneficiaries of the government. The families here should be benefiting from the assets of this aina. The responsibility of the Kanaka Maoli is the Kanaka Maoli has the responsibility for the Kanaka Maoli, no foreign country. The French are not responsible for our benefit, our education, for our housing, our medicine, our education. It's supposed to be in our hands, right? And that's the thing that I learned from Uncle Sam. Anyway, I am so proud of him. I am also proud, yeah, in the spirit of making sure that we know that we are all family, we are all Kanaka Maoli, we all share common lines. And at this time I would like to introduce someone who is a state senator, Gil Kahele. Please, I would like to have you come up and make a presentation. We are very, very truly honored. My God, thank you so much.
Aloha, ai oko. This is a wonderful occasion, a celebration of life. And all of the wonderful things have been said eloquently about Sam Kaleleiki. My paths had crossed with Sam because as a young 11-year-old, back in 1953, when Sam, along with my brother and many others, were with the first All-Hawaii Marine Company. And they enlisted and joined back then to serve our country. Years later, my heroes were my older brothers. And as Sonny Chang, another resident of Miloli'i, who was born in Miloli'i, I followed my brother into the Marine Corps. Although my path didn't cross with Sam, several years later I got to know him. And because of that bond among Marines, and more importantly, bond between Hawaiians, I knew I was a Hawaiian, and I understand many of you are Hawaiians also. So on behalf of the State Senate, I'd like to present this to Sam. And before I say that, also a couple of years ago, several years ago, before he became a state senator, I was invited to go on a trip to Washington, Seattle, Washington. Keliihoomalu, another friend of mine, invited me to go. And on that trip, I got to spend about a week with Sam, along with Prime Minister Henry Noah, and also Skippy Ioane. And to be among them and to learn more about what has happened to our Hawaiian people. For me, it was very enlightening, and I carry those memories. And the time that I spent with Sam, I've also really was privileged to have been in his company. And as I think about the service he has done to his country and to Hawaiians, I'm very honored to have known Sam. I'd like to present this certificate and to Pua. Normally I've skipped through these presentations sometimes when I've attended different functions. But I hope you will allow me and bear with me as I read this certificate presented on behalf of my colleagues in the Hawaii State Senate to Sam Kaleleiki Jr. In a lifetime, only a few people can be mentioned as having a significant impact on the way we live and think. When such a person is lost, a void is created which is seldom filled. Sam Kaleleiki Jr. is just such an individual and will be greatly missed. Sam Kaleleiki Jr. was a strong family man who embraced all of the Hawaiian values, including ohana, blessed to be the proud father of several children, instilled strong morals that will help guide them in the future. As a family patriarch, he ensured that his children shared his love for the Hawaiian community and the Aina. Aside from his accomplished contributions to our society, Sam Kaleleiki Jr. honorably served in the United States Marine Corps. He volunteered at 18 years old in July 1953. He received basic training at Marine Corps Recruit Depot in San Diego and was a member of Platoon 244 that was one of 3 Hawaii platoons, known as the All-Hawaii Marines. After completing basic training, he served in various duty stations and was the recipient of the Purple Heart in Korea and Vietnam. Honorably serving for 30 years, he rose in rank from private to sergeant major and was known as a Marine's Marine. On the 50th anniversary of receiving the territorial flag from then Governor Samuel Wilder King, he was part of the Hawaiian Marines, who returned the replica back to the state of Hawaii. After retiring from the United States Marine Corps, Sam Kaleleiki Jr. dedicated his life to helping the Hawaiian community. He fought against the illegal occupation of Hawaii and worked towards securing land for the lawful government of Hawaii, quote unquote. His dream was to secure property for the Hawaiian community that would be used in perpetuating cultural traditions, many of which included practices such as hunting, fishing, and Maukatu Makai resource management. His perseverance and determination displayed his unending love for the Hawaiian people and the Aina. Sam Kaleleiki Jr. served as the president of Ohana Ho'opakele for many years. As president, he strived to create Ho'ohunua, as alternatives for prisons, so that the focus was on rehabilitating Hawaiians instead of imprisoning them. Sam fought tirelessly to improve the lives of his fellow Hawaiians and diligently worked to secure a brighter future for the Hawaiian community. The 28th Legislature of the State of Hawaii, regular session of 2015, joins the community at large in sorrow for the passing of Sam Kaleleiki Jr. and expresses its deepest condolences and aloha to the Kaleleiki ohana.
I would like to introduce at this time someone that has served as the mayor of Hawaii Island. He has been part of OHA. He is part of a family that I came to know and love in my 20 years living in Portland, Oregon. His brother. I'd like to introduce at this time Mr. Dante Carpenter.
Aloha, aloha, winala, aloha. I, with deep and saddened heart, speak with you today, and I want to address these comments primarily in response to and in respect of Polani and son Inano in the passing of my pal Sam. We were almost brothers. I think a little bit older than he was. We were both looking and talking about a month and a half ago about becoming octogenarians, and I still don't know how to spell it yet. But I think Sam would have had another spelling that's very different from the proper way in any respect. But I also want to thank Naniko Markel for doing one hell of a job this afternoon in respect of this ceremony. Palikapu is Palikapu. He doesn't mince any words, and he is on the mark, and I'm very happy to be a part of that association as well. The Reverend Ron Fujioshi, who may not have spoken yet, is also part of the Ohana Ho'opakele, and it's always been my pleasure to be associated with that. I don't know how many years ago it was I met Uncle Sam, as some people would call him. I call him everything from Sam Kamuela, Ohana Ho'opakele, boss, Sergeant Major, Hawaiian, Mr. President, or just plain bra. And I had the pleasure about a month and a half ago talking with Sam at Queen's Hospital, and we talked about all kinds of things, including the past, present, and future of Ohana Ho'opakele and its mission going forward. I'm sorry I missed, I was away and I just returned the other day, and I'm sorry I missed his passing, and I wanted to see him again before his time actually came. But he's watching us. He'll continue to watch over us until the mission is accomplished as his true purpose, until that is served. I came out of the bathroom a little while ago and I couldn't help but read the ode to Malama, our restrooms, and it said, if you make a mess of the toilet or the sink, please wipe it up. And I thought, gee, that sounds like something Sam would say. To this day, in respect of Sam, my wife and I still speak what I call Marinese or Mariness, because to this day we still say, for the term ship's store, gidunk Now, if you folks have not heard that word, it's a Marine word for a Navy ship store, or a place where you go and transact some business and buy stuff for your family, friends, or yourself. It was in 1957 when I was embarked aboard a Navy ship, an amphibious ship, the USS Thuban, with 250 Marines on an amphibious ship, and we were embarked for Turkey. But Marines speak a whole different language. But till today, my wife and I still speak to the term ship store, gidunk. So if you hear that in the future, remember that to today, remember that to Sam, Uncle Sam, okay? That's the language they spoke, among others. I want to just read a couple of passages from something that Sam and I were embarked on for a number of years. In fact, I'm thinking 10 plus years as members of the Ohana Ho'opakele. And basically this is sort of an introduction to some of the things that we would both speak to and address when we were addressing the Hawaii State Legislature with the idea of converting Kulani Prison to a pu'uhonua, as was spoken to earlier by Pali. And Uncle Sam and I were dedicated to that proposition, still are, as we go forward. As an example, I would testify, and he would testify likewise. Aloha kako. My name is Dante Keala Carpenter, member advisor to Ohana Ho'opakele, speaking in support of this bill, which seeks a financial management audit of the Department of Public Safety's contracts with Correction Corporation of America and Federal Detention Center in Honolulu and other agencies performing services or utilizing public safety facilities to be performed by the state auditor. And this is in contract with relating to the housing of pa'ahau. Pa'ahau, you know, is the word for prisoner or an individual who is incarcerated. Ohana Ho'opakele has proposed to work with the Public Safety's Division and other restorative justice groups to utilize the Kulani Correctional Facility as a pu'uhonua or wellness center for substance abuse treatment and intervention programs that take a holistic and cultural approach to help redirect the lives of those affected, among other programs and activities. President Sam Kaleleiki, also known as Kupuna Sam, and members continue an unwavering commitment to the mission and purpose of Ohana Ho'opakele, and that is to advocate for alternatives to prisons in the form of pu'uhonua for pa'ahau. Literally, pu'uhonua is defined in Pukui and Albert's Hawaiian Dictionary as a sanctuary, a refuge, or asylum, or a place of peace and safety for pa'ahau, prisoners, convicts, and or inmates. In the modern vernacular, it can best be defined or classified as a cultural wellness center with all that title entails. So Uncle Sam and I and a number of other individuals continue to pursue this idea. And while I formerly held the position of State Senator and Judiciary Committee Chairman, which exercised oversight over Hawaii's justice system, including operations of prison facilities, I never for once wanted to allocate more funds to build more prisons to house more inmates, the principal number of which would be Hawaiians. Because it is unjust, has been, and continues to be until that system is changed and or modified with the idea that we've represented with Ohana Ho'opakele. And finally, I'm particularly mindful of a recent positive meeting with then Lieutenant Governor Duke Iona, with Kupuna Sam, Reverend Ron Fuji, Kini Burke, and I, who recently had the temerity, if you will, the audacity, and the continued involvement to change that system. I know Uncle Sam will help guide us in the future as we go forward. I know darn well that he will not relax, no matter if he is in a state of relaxation. And I certainly, I want to not just hope, but I know that he he will rest in peace, but with that abiding thought and idea to continue to represent the people and the causes that he has all his life. So in his own words, Semper Fi and Ibua Hawaii. Mahalo and aloha.
With that, I'd like you all to join me all one last time for Hawaii Aloha. And after that, we are to have a meal ready to go. Brother Sam, the host, along with with Uncle Robert, the Keliihoomalu family, and saying that after we pow, lunch is served. Correct? And I'll offer a humble prayer for the food, but the microphones will continue to be open. We have volunteers who have come up to play music for us, and again, join in. It was to be a Kani Kapila time all the way to Pau. You know, with some of our parties we can go into tomorrow, but of course then you gotta ask Sammy and Uncle Robert. But I am so very pleased as to the quality and the turnout, and just being able to join Pua and Hinano and the rest of you Kaimu Kaleleiki family members is so important, because grief in Hawaiian, the word grief is kamaha. Kamaha, it means heavy. And like all heavy things, whether it be the reunification and reinstatement of your government, or the sadness of death, or a canoe, are more easily carried by many shoulders. The more of us who gather to share that grief together, the lighter that weight is. On that note, again, the mics will be open. We welcome you to come up and play music and sing your favorite songs, dance your favorite hula. It is a family party. And we're going to have some wonderful me'ai. Yeah? So, everybody rise, let's sing Hawaii Aloha, and then we'll have a quick blessing for the food.
Don't leave.
Yeah, don't leave. Stick
This
around.
doesn't mean I'll go home.
Stick around. There should be more and more people giving their remembrances. Thank you so much for participating. E Hawaii e kuon e hanau e Kuho e kulai ne O Hilo awina ponolani o E Hawaii aloha E kule kako. E koma koa I loko kalani mahalo no kia lau ino. Mahalo ia oi no kia hale, kia aina ma kamupuni o Hawaii, kamupuni o Keawe. E olu e hopu mai kei kia mea ai, ka olu e hiwehi o kia honua nei mā kau me nā lima aloha. E olu e hopu I kai ka koma o kino me kia mea ai. No ka ho'i kai ka koma ko kino no ka hana nui, ka hana pono, ka ho'oku I kahi hou o kia opuni ko Hawaii pono I loko ka ino o Yesu Kristo. Amene, amene, amene no. Mahalo. Thank you so much for a beautiful ceremony, and then again, please come up, feel free to hit the mics. Arise, my kinsmen of our land. Oh, Kari, Uvai, Nekalakai, Iola, Kainoa, O
Attention, please. Attention. Hello, everybody. How's it? Somebody wants to say a few words?
Attention on deck. I've been asked to read a poem by Lopaka Jameson standing on my right, and some words. He meant to read it during the ceremony, but the emotion of the occasion had overwhelmed him, and so he's asked me, a small voice, to do it for him. So it shall be. After a long drought, today we and the island weep for our missing brother. I didn't know Sam for very long, but we were instant brothers. We shared the same spiritual mana and aloha that I share with some of you. And by his words and actions, he knew we were like-minded, and he knew I would help carry on his work. We had long talks about his final mission here, and before he left to be with our Marine and Hawaiian brothers on the other side, he gave me a mission as part of his final goal. I must admit, I did not entirely agree with it at first, and I actually struggled with it for months. I know now that he was right, and with your help, I will do my best to help you accomplish his goal and earn my place at their table on the other side. Hurrah, Kingdom of Hawaii. And the poem, Chief Tecumseh. So live your life that the fear of death can never enter your heart. Trouble no one about their religion. Respect others in their view and demand they respect yours. Love your life, perfect your life. Beautify all things in your life. Seek to make your life long in its purpose in the service of your people. Prepare a noble death song for the day when you go over the great divide. Always give a word or a sign of salute when meeting or passing a friend, even a stranger when in a lonely place. Show respect to all people and grovel to none. When you arise in the morning, give thanks for the food and for the joy of living. If you see no reason for giving thanks, the fault lies only in yourself. Abuse no one and no thing, for abuse turns the wise ones to fools and robs the spirit of its vision. When it comes your time to die, be not like those whose hearts are filled with the fear of death, so that when their time comes, they weep and pray for a little more time to live their lives over again in a different way. Sing your death song and die like a hero going home. Hurrah, Sam.
No stars above, no the clouds roll by. I know somehow you make their dreams come true. I found my love, and in my heart, goodbye, fare thee well, jungle rain, jungle rain, jungle rain. It's lonely out there. Yeah, long, long, bumpy road to freedom and independence within ourselves. Hawaiian is not a race, it's a nationality. Kanaka the race, because we're related all over the world, because we only had the boats before. Some of you don't look like us, just might have a little dash. Ehele au make kai, ike kai hanupa nupa, ikapili ana ahia. Ehele au make kai, ehele au make kai, ike kai hanupa nupa, ikapili ana aiha. Ehele au make kai. I go to the sea, the surging, surging, surging sea, at the quiet evening time. Yes, I go to the sea. Ehele au make kai, ike kai hanupa nupa, meke aloha wawahine, ke ia aina o imaia. I go to the sea, the surging, surging, surging sea, with love for Hawaii, for this land that I love. kai ike kai hanu panua ika pili ana aia e ele au make kai. Yes, I go to that sea, the surging, surging, surging sea, at the quiet evening time. Yes, I go to sea. Ele au make kai, ite tai hanu panupa, mete aroha aroa ine, ke ia aina hoki mai ia. I go to that sea, the surging, surging, surging sea, with the love for Hawaii, for this land that I love, 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 for this land that we Kiss me, love, my darling, ku'ihiko, ku'ulei gardina, oh now now. Keliihoomalu, come closer, make it a logo, ku'ulei nani, oh away, yeah. Kiss me, love, my darling, ku'ihiko, ku'ulei gardina, ona ona. Keliihoomalu, come closer, make it a logo, ku'ulei nani, oh yeah. Joseph. Aloha, Keliihoomalu, please come closer. Keliihoomalu, nani pamoja. Oh,